Today we learn how to find the lowest common multiple. We start with the definition. The lowest common multiple is the smallest number that is a multiple of two or more numbers. Important. Every number is a multiple of itself, so the LCM of any two numbers will always be at least as big as the larger of the two numbers. So we have multiples of 6 and we have multiples of 8. Let's find the common multiples. Which one is the lowest common multiple? The 24. So finding the lowest common multiple, let's have a look at the list method. So this is useful for smaller numbers. We will follow these 3 steps: list the multiples, identify the common multiples, and select the smallest common multiple. So let's look at 2 and 7. So the multiples of 2 we have, and the multiples of 7 we have. Now let's find some common multiples. 14 is the first common multiple. It is the lowest common multiple. Let's look at our next question. 6, 7. Now I can see that my first lowest common multiple is 42. For large numbers, it is useful for us to know the ladder method. And we simply follow these 4 steps that we have on the left-hand side. So we have our numbers side by side. Step number 2, divide by the smallest common prime factors. So smallest common prime factor is 2. So we divide both of them by 2. 18 divided by 2, 9. 24 divided by 2, 12. Common prime factor, 3. 3 goes into both of those. I divide 9 by 3 and I get 3. I divide 12 by 3 and I get 4. Is there a common prime factor that goes into 3 and 4? No. If there is no common prime factor, you simply divide one number by its own smallest prime factor, and the other number is continued onto the next line. So in this one, let's have a look at 3. Let's divide that 3 by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. It tells us the other number is continued onto the next line. So the 4 is continued down to 4. I can't do anything more with that red one. But the 4 can be divided by a prime number. The lowest prime number it can be divided by is 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. The 1 continues down, and that black 2 can again be divided by 2, and I get a 1, and the red 1 continues down. So we have a 1 and a 1. We are finished the process. So this is step number 3. Repeat the process until you reach 1 for both numbers. Step number 4, multiply all the prime factors used in the divisions. So all of these numbers down the left-hand side, we're going to multiply those together to get our LCM. And when we multiply those together, we get 6 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 2. And that will give us 72. Let's practice those 4 steps for 2 more questions. Step 1, write the numbers side by side. Step number 2, divide by the smallest common prime factors. So 2 goes into both of those. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Now, 5 and 9 do not share a common prime factor. So I'm first going to work with the 5. That 5 divided by 5 is 1. The 9 continues down onto the next line. Now the 9 has a prime factor, 3. So I divide that 9 by 3, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. The red 1 continues down, and lastly 3 divided by 3 is 1, and the red 1 continues down. And now I have my 1's at the bottom. I'm finished, and I have my common prime factors, which I will multiply together. So LCM equals 2 multiplied by 5 is 10, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, 10 multiplied by 9, 90. there is our lowest common multiple. Last question, slightly harder question. Let's have a go. Common prime factor, 2. 26 divided by 2, 13. 30 divided by 2, 15. Now, this one is slightly awkward. 13 itself is a prime number. So that 13 I need to divide by 13. And 13 divided by 13 is 1. The 15 continues down to the next line. Now 15 divided by 3 is 5. The 1 continues down. And lastly, our 5 divided by 5 is 1. And the 1 continues down. And we are at our last line where we have our 1s, so we are finished. And we need to multiply the prime factors down the left-hand side. So, our LCM equals, and we multiply those together and we get 390. You guys would simply do long multiplication. And that is a wrap. Hey guys, this is Casey at Onetree. If you like the content, please remember to like and subscribe. Also, if you'd like some online tutoring, please email me at onetreemath@gmail.com. Cheers.